Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. I wanted to take a couple of minutes and show you some of the new technology in the 2025 Buick Enclave. If I was to just sit back and show you the 30 inches worth of screen without telling you what I was sitting inside of, well, you might not guess that it's a Buick, but it is. Now, this is the preferred trim level that I'm sitting in, and I want you to notice something. I don't know how well you can see it, but you can see the adjustments over here and see that we have a head-up display. So that is there. Quite a bit going on here. A lot of changes for the 2025 model year. And so we're going to go over the technology in this video. If you want to see a full video, I've got that down in the comments section. It will be the pinned comment, the very first comment you see. Now, one thing that is interesting here that I see, normally when you have a head-up display, you have the controls that are physically right here. Just buttons, basically. Well, in this case, it's right up here. In fact, you can turn the head-up display on and off right there. If you want to adjust, you're going to actually select that area. We can adjust the height. There are different settings here. Not only the height, we can also adjust the brightness. And you can see I'm basically just using the screen to scroll over. We have the three dots right there, which means we have a couple of different things we can change. We can change rotation, we can change height, and we can change brightness. And I don't know that my camera is picking it up very well. I hope so, but you can see it right there. It is nice and bright. But here's what we have as far as the rest of your screen goes. 30 full inches from side to side. A lot of screen. Very nice looking, very bright. You can see that you can bring up your navigation if you want to. That way you don't have to look over here. You'll just glance down at that if you need to see it for just a quick second when you're driving. And that's very simplistic to deal with. There's so much you can do here. A lot of nice little changes you can make as far as that goes. You can listen to music, change what you're listening to with your music, obviously over here. So the hunt and peck method will do you quite well. It's so simple to use. I'm not going to show you everything that we have here because it is that simple, but just wanted to give you a quick rundown on some things. You can see that you do have the shifter paddles right here as far as if you're feeling sporty and you want to exercise the 328 horsepower and work your way back and forth through the gears. And here's something really nice. Here's our shifter. That's not what I'm really talking about that's really nice, but if I go into reverse, up comes the camera views. Now, I do personally wish that the camera or the view, what you see on the screen right here, was larger. There's so much screen right here that you should be able to see more of that, in my opinion, but that's the way it is. At least you have it. It's nice and bright and easy to deal with. Now, you can go into your settings right here and make a few little changes, but unfortunately, you can't change the size of what you're seeing. Tell me what you think about that. Do you think maybe that's one area or maybe Buick didn't quite make it as convenient as they could have? Some people might say that's no problem. And by the way, you don't have to be in reverse to use those views as you just saw right there with what I did. Now, one thing I do want to cover right down here, you'll notice everything for your air conditioning. You don't have to control it right there. That's the good news. You still have physical controls right here for your fan speed and for your dual zone climate control. So nice to know with that being there that it's not an issue. Now, you also have Google Assistant, and I'm hesitant as to whether or not I should demonstrate that for you because, well, I might set things off in your house. So I'm just going to say this. You would say, hey, you know who right there, or we could just do this. Tell me a joke.
Why was the student's report card wet? It was below sea level.
I was waiting for something. As corny as that is, hey, it's a good thing. It's funny. But there you go. That's what you have. Now, one thing, unfortunately, this particular Enclave has already been sold. And so I'm not going to be able to go into a place where it's dark and show you the ambient lighting. But I do show you that in my other video. So you have a few different options here depending on what you want to do. And you can see all of the different color selections. Look at what I'm doing up here. Depending on what you want, there are not only multiple colors, but obviously different hues, all kinds of different options and features here, depending on what you want for your different color selections. So brightness, you can also go in here and change that. If you want it to be really bright, you can do that. Ambient lighting, very nicely done, I must say, with this Buick. So kind of interesting, because in the past a lot of people have focused on Buicks as being, or thought of, maybe that's a better way of putting it, Buick as being their grandmother's vehicle. And yeah, I could understand that. Not that way anymore, although your grandmother could still drive one. She's just going to be driving one with a lot more technology. And how about vehicle status? Let's see what comes up if we do that. And you can see, hopefully, trying to reduce the glare as much as I can here, but I wanted to show you what's here. So hopefully you can see everything nicely. If you want to go in to maintenance, you can see what's there as far as the different information that it gives you. Just to show you what's here, you can probably see that, as I said, it's so easy to just hunt and peck your way around. But when you think of Buick, you don't have it, at least in the past, thought of seeing what I'm showing you. That's obviously changing as these new models come out. Even you have your air quality information here, so you can see what's going on with that. Really a nice system here. Very simple to use, very easy to figure out. You can go into your settings right here, and anything you need to do. By the way, you can wirelessly connect your smartphone without tongue twists being involved. And so you have that. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are here. If you need to go in and make updates, there's where you can do that. We'll go over here to vehicle. I'm going to show you a couple of things here as well. So if you have a teenager, you've got teen driver mode. That's very easy to deal with. You'll put in your code for all of that. That's very simplistic to do. So we'll just do this right here just for the fun of it. And it's going to ask us to do that again. I don't know if that's already preset. It may be. So I may not be able to show you. Okay, there it is. The pin is set. So, and I'm going to show you how to remove that as well. So here's what we have. And this is done by remote, by the way. So you go in, you can see the report card, and there's not going to be any information to really show you here as far as anything that has happened, because I haven't driven it in teen driver mode, but you can see what all is here. So if you need to, you can take care of that. And obviously your teen can only change that if they have the code. And I did want to show you your settings right here. So depending on what you want to do or how you want things to work, you can turn things on and off right here, whether it's buckle to drive, which obviously you really do want to have that on. Audio volume limit, speed limiter. It looks like we only have speed warning, and that's all we have. So that's easy to deal with. Now, what do you do if you want to go and actually get rid of the pin or clear the pin? Here's how we do that right here. That way, number one, you know that I was successfully able to remove that so it didn't mess anybody up. But you can see what all is here where that's concerned. Now, we'll go back into vehicle one more time here. Rear seat reminder, buckle to drive, all of that is here. How about your safety features, your collision detection, automatic emergency braking, front pedestrian braking? You've got your intersection collision braking, adaptive cruise go notifier, side bicyclist alert, lane change alert, park assist with braking. We'll also have our rear cross traffic braking and rear pedestrian alert. And you can go in and make some changes and modifications to those, as you can see. So I'm not going to cover every single little thing that is here, but I wanted to mainly just show you around so you could see some of the features. You can go in here with your music and whatever you want to listen to, whether it's Sirius XM or the radio or whatever it is. And obviously you have built-in navigation because, well, you can see that over here. But the majority of what you're going to be doing is here as far as how you manage everything goes on the right side screen or your center screen. Now, if you'll notice what I just did right there, I clicked on that feature right there. So you see a few different things you can change here depending on what you want to do. Some things turn on and off, such as your auto high beam assist, traction control, all of that's going to be there. Very simple and straightforward. I like that, but the technology is still very solid. Here is your control for the radio right here. To turn that on and off and adjust the volume, all of that is there. Wireless charging. There's a lot you can add, typical of Buick or any GM vehicle really in this day and age, where you can go with a lower trim level but add a lot of features that you would have on higher trim levels, but not necessarily have that higher trim level pricing. If there was anything that I'm kind of curious about, it's all of the gloss black finish right here, the piano black finish as some call that. I'm not sure how that's going to hold up because this is an area that's likely to get a lot of fingerprints. So I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. And if you're curious about what is on the upper console, hopefully that's showing up well. It's a little dark in here. Kind of hard to manage the light and not make it too dark and not make it too light. So hopefully you're able to see what is up there. You also have a sunglass holder. So nice to see that that is there. Very simplistic look. But down here we have something that I think is very nice, and that's the floating console. I like how Buick took advantage of a lot of potential space right here to basically create a pass-through. You also have a 12-volt power outlet right there. I don't know how well I can show that to you from that particular angle, but quite a bit going on. Now, you might look inside of the center console and say, that doesn't seem like much space. Well, that's because this tray is removable. And there actually is quite a bit of space down there, so you can either leave that out or leave it in, depending on your situation. So that is basically a quick look at your technology. Maybe it wasn't quick, but a look at some of the technology here. In fact, you also have your driving modes. Let me run through that real fast for you. Let's go through that. So here's what we have. You have snow and ice. You're going to have your tour mode, and you're going to have sport, and then we start back over. So you can see what all is there as far as all of that goes. A really nice look on your different driving modes for this Buick Enclave. You're going to have the graphics that go along with everything. And a couple of other things over here in case you're wanting to know about where your power parking brake is, for example. There that is. So also going to have seat memory over here on the driver's side. All your typical functionality. You also have the ability to push the button right here, this center button, and that folds the power folding side view mirrors in or out. And that's a quick look for you at the technology of the 2025 Buick Enclave. If you want to see a full video on the exterior and the interior of this Enclave, check out that pinned comment I told you about down in the comments section. I do want to say a special thanks to my friend Glenn. He's the salesman that sold this particular model, but they have a lot more coming in here at Morgan Buick GMC in Shreveport, Louisiana, so give him a shout if you're interested. I do want to also thank all of you for being kind enough to take the time to watch and give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. Make sure to subscribe, that way you don't miss any future videos. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.